This next technique is a collage style, and there's a lot of different directions you can take this collage, but I have a few examples here, and then I'll do the demo video time-lapse that shows a magazine collage in the background. But think about, first of all, different materials that you can use for your collage. You have tissue paper in your art kits that you can use, so think about incorporating colors in tissue paper or construction paper. And that would be interesting to adjust different value changes and hues in the background or even on the foreground. Or think about different materials like newspaper, tinfoil, saran wrap, and different textures that could be interesting to incorporate into your background or foreground. And then think about if you do want the background to be filled with your collage, or if there's parts of the objects that you could add tissue paper on top of, or some different collage styles into. So here's a few more, and I know these are portraits, but think about how you could use similar ideas from each of these. I like the one on the left where it's incorporating some flowers or different drawings that they collage. So maybe do some sort of drawing that you can add or replicate and print out into the background. Think about some sort of transparent paper that you can put down, or maybe collage and then redraw some of your charcoal marks or shading on top of your collage. So be creative whichever direction you decide to take things. In this time-lapse video that I will play now, again, I'm just using a magazine and ripping out different pieces of the magazine for the background. One thing that you'll want to note when you're doing your collage is repetition. So I would make sure that you're not using 1,000 different colors, but stick to maybe 3 or 4 main color schemes that you can bring into your composition. So I have that orangish brown color that I'm repeating around the outside, and I am also starting in like a circle, framing my focal point to help frame and kind of create movement in the direction that I'm placing my pieces. But I'm also then going in with more purples and warmer tones, and I'm repeating those as well. So I'm keeping it consistent. I'm not using a bunch of random colors, but I am moving things around, repeating the brown, repeating the purple, and not just using purple in one spot and yellow in another spot. So keep things moving, keep it consistent, and try to unify your piece. But really all I did was just put a little bit of glue on each piece before I set it down. And then I used smaller pieces around the outside of my objects so that those still stand out. And at this point, you could consider even collaging onto parts of the focal point or parts of the object and going back on top of it with charcoal to emphasize certain areas or bring some detail back that might have been lost.